Oh, I was looking forward to talking about this so much, AJ. So, Golden Globes. Leave this part in the video. Context is needed for this. On our other YouTube channel, which we've now closed, and on the podcast, this show is available on podcast, link down below if you haven't followed us on podcast already. I have often been on record saying that the Golden Globes are stupid. And people have always not fully understood why I feel so strongly about that. I think now, given why the Globes are not closing down, but are kind of shifting, is the perfect time to have a proper elaboration about this. The reason you and I think we've always agreed when I've said that all opinions in film are valid because it's ultimately subjective, but a critic's opinion is more valid than the average audience member's opinion because by proxy of what they do, a critic's opinion is more informed. It's literally what they do for a living. Case in point, if we take it out of the movie realm, a history student can have an opinion on why a certain event in history happened, but the history teacher, 9 times out of 10, is going to have a more informed opinion on why the event happened because they are literally doing it for a living, right? So it's the same thing with film. The critics, while their opinion is not more valid, it is more informed than the average audience members. Critics will see 100 to 300 movies a year. Statistically speaking, your average audience member sees 3 to 10 movies a year. Who knows more about movies? The 300 or the 10?
I agree.
It's non-debatable,
the wider
right?
field, yeah.
Cool. So with that frame in mind, here's why the Oscars are important and why the Golden Globes are irrelevant. The Oscars are made up of a body of 8,000 people. These 8,000 people are all executives, directors, producers, actors, writers, cinematographers, and it goes on and on and on. In other words, people who have been working or who are actively working in the industry which they are voting on. For reference, Steven Spielberg is part of the Academy. He may know a thing or two about movies, just a little bit, as do all of the people in that pool of 8,000. So that's the Academy who host the Oscars, right? That's that side taken care of. So who hosts who's this body that controls the Golden Globes? It's a body called the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Now, dig this, because a lot of people don't know this. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association is made up of, wait for it, 75 people. Already, you've lost me on that number alone, because it means we're drawing the vote. The total voting is drawing from a smaller pool of people. So that's stupid. Who are these 75 people? Well, they're not working professionals, AJ. They are not Steven Spielberg. They're not Kevin Feige. They're not people who are active in the industry other than in the form of a critic. So these Hollywood Foreign Press Association members are, and this is the weirdest part, by rule of their organization, critics who live in LA, but who work for foreign press outlets. So that in itself is weird. All right. So just the same way we were saying that a critic's opinion is more invalid than is more informed than a film fan's opinion. By that same logic, Steven Spielberg's opinion is a hell of a lot more informed than a critic's opinion.
Appreciate
it. This is what we're stacking up against. Furthermore, Golden Globes can be bought, literally bought. If you fly 20 people of the Golden Globes board, the people who vote essentially, fly 20 of them to Greece, wine and dine them, buy some votes. Well, you've pretty much just secured yourself a win for a Golden Globe there, because you've made up over 25. I mean, I might get my math wrong on this. You've just made up nearly 20% of your voting demographic have just been bought. Take 20 people from the Academy. less than 0.1%. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it can't be bought. You can't take unless you're a fucking billionaire. Sorry, damn it, I swore. Unless you take, hopefully Google doesn't catch that. Unless you take 8,000 people to do the same type of whining and dining experience, which I don't think most people in their right mind would try and do, you can't buy an Oscar. It's done on merit. And also, because of the caliber of people voting on the Academy, I don't think they would risk their industry integrity being bought out. So do you see why I've always said the Golden Globes are ridiculous?
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, they have broad categories, nice broad categories where we can just insert weird things to. Two of the most moronic pieces of voting that come to mind. Patch Adams, the Robin Williams movie. Oh, you think if you haven't seen it, it's a Robin Williams, it's a drama, it's a comedy movie. No. Patch Adams is a really dark, depressing drama. Yet miraculously, it won the Golden Globe for the best comedy musical. Banshees of Inisherin just last year. I don't even think it won, but it was nominated for best musical.
What?
This is the type of voting you get at the Golden Globes. But do you know why people defend it? And this is beyond a shadow of a doubt, because they put on a damn good show, AJ. Come on. You're going to get people like Ricky Gervais coming on and literally butt slamming the entire film community live. Now that's good TV. Also, you usually get very good moments with the people accepting awards because other key thing about the Golden Globes, open bar. So the celebs are usually plastered by the time they go up. So you get your sound bites, you get your TV moments. And for the sake of, and you've also got to remember they're quite popular. So most of your average viewing public who may not have seen the Banshees of Inisherin, but will have seen something like the new Star Wars movie, will feel more represented. So people will have a natural leaning towards that. What has more merit in film? I'm not going to engage with what's better, Banshees or Star Wars. They're so different. It's beyond compare. But do you see who's voting on these things and why it's ultimately an absolute joke that they're even compared? Is the point clear?
I get it. And the thing behind it all is I believe there's different strokes for different folks. Now, if you're out with a full-on appreciation of film and I don't want to say aspire, but you can understand a film critic's point of view and you are more open to variety in your genre of film, then yes, the Oscars are for you. However, there is that angle where, and again, you go to it, the Oscars don't really come out on TV. Do you know what I mean? You're always seeing it from the outside and hearing certain bits and it's a speech.
Well, it's live on Sky every single year.
Is it from there? Okay, there was one that I know they don't get to see certain parts. I can't remember. You always just see the red carpet and all
No, it's live on TV every year. It's after the Super Bowl. It's the second biggest televised event in the world.
Yeah, I know everyone tunes in. Don't get me wrong, but what I'm getting at is that people can relate when you're watching the Oscars and you are a blockbuster hunter. I'm going to call it just for the benefit of this conversation, right?
Your special effects categories for you then.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. While doing that, you are going through category after category. You're hearing stuff like Banshees. You're hearing stuff like Three Billboards. Not that I'm knocking these films, but they aren't for your blockbuster crash bang wallet following cinema audience.
Be careful here because we're talking about content of film here, which is what I wanted to avoid.
I'm avoiding it, but what I'm getting at is not content of film, but genre of film, style of film. No, just what you're getting within the content.
That's not the problem, because then it comes into a matter of subjectivity and what film is better than what. That's not my beef for the Golden Globes.
No. It's the style of film. What I'm getting at. My thing is that there are again,
it's people voting. That's my problem.
I get it. But what I'm saying, it's the voters. But what I'm saying is the appeal of what you're getting. It's when you can recognize what films are on a certain award category, you will relate to that. And that's why the Golden Globes go up. You get a lot of fun, you have people going crazy, and you recognize a lot of the films that are getting those adverts. Whereas the Oscars will open you out to a different genre, different category. You'll be like, oh, that seems interesting. What was that? Oh, I appreciate that, director XYZ. So that's why I say there are different courses, horses for courses, as it were. You know, it's just different things has different appeal. And that's it.
And I cannot stress enough that the appeal of a movie, I am not getting into debate of what movie should have more appeal, because that is not what I'm about, because all opinions are welcome on this. My key thing is the people voting, the body is too small, and the body of people voting are not informed enough for their opinion, in my eyes, to have any merit when specifically when held up next to the body of people voting on the Oscars, who include the likes of Steven Spielberg.
I appreciate that. But when you talk about the media outlets that they are, you're going to get people who literally appeal to.
But who are they? Did that? Joe Blow movie Gas's Gus movie Gus station farts in Albania. I'm sorry.
It could be, but it could also be the guy who gives the news report on This Morning every other day, or on Lorraine show. Like, I don't know who it is, but I don't know.
It's not. That's the thing. Okay. These people are nobodies. So now we actually get to the story.
Go.
Because these people, AJ, are literally like you and me. It's a group of people who have just set up an award ceremony and they're getting people smashed. Here we go. Let's get into this. So the Golden Globes, this is breaking news coming from Deadline. Hang on. Bambi live action pick set at Disney with Sarah Polley in talks to direct. Ooh, breaking news. There you go. Anyway, our news story. Golden Globes acquired by Dick Clark Productions and Eldridge, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, to wind down. So, Dick Clark Productions and Eldridge said Monday morning that they have acquired all the Golden Globes assets, rights, and properties from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, turning the Hollywood Awards show into a commercial enterprise. As a result, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and its membership, which have handed out the awards, will shutter. The announcement was made by Todd Boehly, yes, he of also Chelsea fame, chairman of Eldridge, and Jay Penske, CEO, chairman, and founder, Penske Media, who is also CEO of DCP. With proceeds from the transaction and the existing resources of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the new owners will launch the Golden Globe Foundation, which will carry on the HPFA's entertainment-related charitable giving. As part of the deal, DCP and its partners will plan, host, and produce the annual Golden Globe Award show and will pursue commercial opportunities for the Golden Globes globally. Now, I think we don't really need to add more than what we've done already. We've kind of done a big spiel about this. That's the story. The Golden Globes have been acquired, and where it goes from here, who knows? Because they may keep doing the same thing of having a weird group of, less informed, non-industry people voting, or it may completely turn on its head. I guess what I'm saying at this point is stay tuned.